Hi everyone, my name is Grace and I am the co-founder, owner, and creator of Filipino Virtual Assistants. And today we are going to learn about getting started with online bookkeeping. Online bookkeeping is one of the fastest growing freelancing niche because a lot of business owners are transitioning into the online bookkeeping avenue in their books, in their sales, in their financing or financial services in order to really just benefit for their businesses because they're not spending that much when in comparison to hiring a bookkeeper. So a lot of accountants, bookkeepers, and other financial related services or people who are in that niche are transitioning into the online bookkeeping industry in order to serve those businesses and brands needing these services. So today we have here Coach Cess. She is the FVA trainer for online bookkeeping, and she has been coaching for the past 5 months, and there are hundreds of students. And the feedback on this course is just really positive, and a lot are really enjoying the class. It's all good, for both newbies and those with background in online bookkeeping or accountancy. And today, Coach Cess is going to just share with us tips on how we can start or you can start online bookkeeping if that's something that you'd like to pursue in your freelancing career. So welcome to this video, Coach Cess. I know that you're really busy, so thank you for this time as well.
Hi, Coach. Good afternoon. Yes.
And maybe, Coach, we would like to share our viewers, we would like to let them know probably a little bit of your online bookkeeping or even accountancy or bookkeeping experience. And because this gets, asked a lot, in the Facebook or in our messenger, in a lot of questions, in a lot of our emails, maybe, in order for them to have a knowledge or probably a perspective on who you are, probably mention your experience and probably also other applications that is under your forte when it comes to online bookkeeping.
Okay, Coach. We'll do that. Okay. So, hi, everyone. I am Cess Nano, as what was introduced by Coach Grace. I am the online bookkeeping trainer. Okay. So, I do have an 18 years experience using softwares like MYOP. QuickBooks is
Mhm.
what we are offering here,
Mhm.
and Zero also, Page 3, and UPS. So
Mhm.
basically, what we are offering is QuickBooks Coach, because this is the most common, and I think this comparing it to other software, this is the easiest for me.
Mhm.
This is the easiest comparing it with the other softwares that I use.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is my 5th month, and I am on the 5th batch of our bookkeeping course, and I can say that so far it is really good because the feedback are
Mhm.
good. There are some students who are even messaging me after. So I think that is the best. What we can offer is we can really communicate to our students one
Mhm.
on one, and we can
Mhm.
really help them when they need us, even the course is done already.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the many feedback, that Coach Chess is very supportive. It's they say that there's clarity in the coaching sessions, and you are there to really empower them. And a lot of them are getting hired because a lot are also looking for online bookkeepers online, especially in online jobs. That's the feedback that we're getting so far. So yes, go ahead, Coach. Why don't you share with them, especially to those who are interested on how they can get started with online bookkeeping? Probably share what are the coverage of your course, what are the attitudes probably that they need in order to be successful in the online bookkeeping industry, what are the mindset, and probably everything that you'd like to share being in the online bookkeeping industry for 18 years now, how can they be successful in their online bookkeeping careers? And yeah, just share, whatever your tips are.
Okay. Okay, coach. Okay, so basically, how to start as online bookkeeping virtual assistant. First, as we need to know first, why do you want to be a bookkeeper? What is our end goal here? Because when you want to be a bookkeeper, it's not that we just really want it. We need to have the attitude as well. And what is our end goal is for us to have a client at the end of this course also. Second, have experience or learn online bookkeeping. If you don't have any experience, this is the right time for you to learn online bookkeeping. Why do we need to learn online bookkeeping? It's for us to understand the business. That is one thing. Second, to help the business owners make decisions. And third, we will able to supply them the information that they will need. Example, how much money they are making. That is really important for online bookkeeping because at the end of the day, the business owners will want to know how much they are earning. Okay. Then the third one is narrow your focus or specialize and work with one or two niche industries. Um, because online bookkeeping is really overwhelming. Other people will tell you online bookkeeping, I don't have background on that. But that is not an issue here because if you're learning online bookkeeping, what is good with online bookkeeping? You will have a different focus and you will have different niche. Example, if you want to be an accounts payable specialist only, that is fine. Accounts receivable, or if you want to go with QuickBooks bank reconciliation, this is the most common job for QuickBooks Online. So bank reconciliation. So you have to narrow your focus if you want to, or if you want to do the bigger part of it, like online bookkeeping per se, then that is really fine also. Then for reassure your clients about confidentiality or be client centered because this job really needs that honesty is needed here, and we should not divulge the information to others because if that is the case, no one will trust us anymore. So I hope that making sure that when you are applying and you have your own client with you, you should at least be aware of confidentiality. Sometimes your client will ask you to sign a confidentiality closure. Sorry. Okay, next, decide on a fee structure. That is the fifth one. So basically, when you don't have your experience with it, that is the time that we will try to know how much you will charge for your client. So the first one, most of the time, I will ask my students to start with $5 if you don't have any background at all. But when you are done with the bookkeeping job, I think $10 to $15 would be really good together with your experience with it. Number six, continue learning and expand your offerings. Huh. There are so many software that we can use, but for online bookkeeping here, what we are having is QuickBooks. But you can try, guys, MYOP, Zero. So these are some of the most common accounting software that is being used. So I think when you expand your offerings, definitely you know already that your fixed fee structure will get higher. Like me, I'm having continuous learning with all of this. Even I am the coach of FBA already. Still, I am having a continuous learning with all the other softwares and get certified as well. So because that is really a good, um, it will be an advantage on your side when you are certified. So for that one, I always assist my current students on how to be certified because I want them to be hired as well and have a good payment for the skills that they are having. Seven, set up your office or the office tools that you need. Okay, for this one, I think we should really have a laptop with a good specs. Second, a good internet connection because it's an online. So basically, a client will look forward that they will not pay just because it's hanging up or it's lagging. So a good internet connection and a good backup will be okay. Bookkeeping software like QuickBooks Online, you can go around with that. QuickBooks Online is giving a 30-day trial period, so it will be easier for everyone to go through it. Then you should have Adobe PDF or Adobe Acrobat, and definitely Excel file because that is the most important part as well of your tools that you will need. And the last one, I think all of the seven that I discussed, the last one is still the key for this one. Okay, so right attitude is the real key for this. Because if you have, why do you want to be a bookkeeper? You should have the right attitude as well. Determination is a key there. Time management. But for being an online bookkeeper, I think accuracy that is really important, and attention to detail, because sometimes accuracy, if you missed something, that is really the most important part. Example, your transaction is only 1,000 and you put 10,000. So attention to detail is really important, because one mistake could lead to a different information that you can give to your client, and the decision will not be the same. Then honesty. And the last one, have confidence in yourself, because these are the most common issues that we're having. Like, you don't want to apply, you don't want to try. Be a risk taker. Have confidence in yourself because you can do it. Okay, so that's the eight points that I can share to you on how to start as an online bookkeeping VA. So I hope, Coach Grace, that is okay on what we've
Yeah,
shared to them.
very good. Very short, concise, but really very helpful as well. A lot of people, and especially freelancers out there, and sometimes are overwhelmed on how they can get started. So those are really helpful when it comes to getting started and just knowing, the foundation when it comes to online bookkeeping. Because a lot would have this mindset that if it's already numbers or it's like online bookkeeping, okay, that's a little except for those who are, inclined towards that, like for example, the CPAs, the accountants, the bookkeeper tech. I know there's also bookkeeping tech or
Bookkeeper
something.
technicians.
Yep.
But I
So.
think that is the most common issue that we're having, Coach. Like, because they feel that if they don't like math when they are studying, they cannot learn online bookkeeping. That's why I always tell my students that, like me, Coach, to be honest, I really don't like math. But because online bookkeeping is analyzation, so we should really have that with us for us
Mhm.
to learn. And also, I think it's the determination, Coach. If you really like, I do have um, some students who are really doesn't have a basic accounting coach.
Mhm.
Really
Mhm.
doesn't, zero knowledge. But when they
Mhm.
complete the course, they did able to apply. Their
Mhm.
Upwork was approved, so they are really happy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I know that in there you really shared it from scratch to success, and you're having a weekly coaching as well in order for them to really be guided. And the coverage for this are, I know you have the introduction, so
Yes, correct.
they have at least a knowledge, the balance sheet. There's also the income statement, double entry, bookkeeping, adjusting journal entries, bookkeeping, in a computerized accounting. And this is where
Accounting,
you're adding the apps, right? Like
QuickBooks
the
coach.
QuickBooks. Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. So how would you probably mention or encourage those who are, I really love what you mentioned, towards the end, the accuracy, the attitudes that would come as part of the integrity of an online bookkeeper. Because again, you can just disclose this and disclose that, and those are really sensitive information because this is the financial information of the business owner. And you mentioned about accuracy, honesty. You mentioned about having to probably sign up an NDA or
Mm-mm.
confidentiality agreement with the client. And with your current students right now, coach, what are you seeing, in them? What are the attitudes that, aside from the ones that you mentioned earlier, that allows them that to be hired right away? Probably because I know from my coaching, I'm seeing that in all of the students coming in, it really doesn't matter if they are high school graduate or with masters. If they have the computer at home with high speed internet, or they are using the internet cafe, it all boils down to their focus on the lessons, determination, and the
Yes,
time
correct.
that they're
Yes,
giving into the
correct,
lesson.
coach.
So what can you also share, coach, to those who are interested, that you are seeing, the attitudes that you are seeing from all of your students who are hired now?
Coach, I think it's really the determination and
Mm-hmm.
eagerness to learn. And
Mm-hmm.
they really need to focus. That's the
Yeah.
most important thing, because there are others that they feel that if they have basic accounting, they will able to go through
Mm-hmm. True.
just because
Mm-hmm.
they have it and they don't really follow deadlines. Okay, coach.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, as what I said, in accounting, coach, in basic bookkeeping, when you have it with you, study it now while it
Mm-hmm.
is fresh. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you miss that, it will be difficult for you to go through. And
Mm-hmm.
what is good with online bookkeeping, because I am teaching here, coach, the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
It means wherever they go, whatever is the business that they will encounter, as long
Mm-hmm.
as they know debit and credit, the one that I'm teaching, coach,
Okay.
they
Mm-hmm.
will able to go through that
Mm-hmm.
far. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, coach, I'm having these students who are asking me to have like, coach, can I have an apprenticeship with you? So because I'm having my own client now and I want to
Mm-hmm.
learn. So what I'm telling them, coach, is as long as I can answer, because not
Mm-hmm.
everything, like example, coach, it depends on the tax code of this company. So it
Mm-hmm.
depends on that. But for everything that they are asking, I am really answering them within the
Mm-hmm.
time frame that they are really expecting it,
Mm.
coach.
All right. Probably before I'm going to end, Coach, I'm going to ask you three frequently asked questions for them to have knowledge on what this course is all about. So, give you an avenue on, giving those who are interested in the online bookkeeping course the background. Number one is they're asking on what are the specs, and you mentioned earlier when it comes to online bookkeeping, what's the internet speed that they would need in order to sustain? Because just like you mentioned earlier, you have to download a PDF, you have to download files. So, what do you suggest or encourage them when it comes to computer and internet speed?
Okay, coach. Okay, I think for the computer, for me, coach, I do have an i3.
Mm-hmm.
But even a lesser of that would be fine still.
Okay.
Because anyway, online bookkeeping, it will not really take time of your space or the
Mm-hmm.
storage itself. So that
Mm-hmm.
is okay. Then for internet connection, I would suggest at least 20 Mbps, coach, because
Mm-hmm.
QuickBooks is an online software. So every time that you will not able to access it, definitely it will really log in
Mm-hmm.
and the
No.
issue will be you're not so sure if you did able to record the transaction already. So you need
Mm-hmm.
to go back again and check. So if
Mm-hmm.
your 10 to 20 Mbps would be fine, coach, for
Okay.
online bookkeeping. Then for
Mm-hmm.
because for Adobe, if you have your own, that is fine. But because most of the time, coach, a bookkeeper will receive a receipt from your client, then you will
Mm-hmm.
need to download it and upload it to QuickBooks, or if they have any other note like my client, because I do have my own client, coach, as a QuickBooks
Mm-hmm.
Pro advisor. So
Mm-hmm.
he is having an Evernote, and we're using
Mm-hmm.
Dropbox as well, coach. So
Mm-hmm.
that is
So
the
those are
most
some of the
common.
tools.
Yes, and Dropbox is really the internet connection. If it's not
Yeah.
good, also it will not also update, coach. So
Right.
I think those are the most important things that um, they should be ready of if
Mhm.
they are really looking forward to have this as their bread and butter, coach.
Mm. Another question that gets often asked as well is the one that you mentioned earlier. Is QuickBooks Pro Advisor certification, even the QuickBooks certification, is it included or a part of the online bookkeeping certification? I know the answer, but probably you want to share to them.
Yes, coach. Okay. So for online bookkeeping, the one that we have here in FBA, the certification is not part of this. But
Mm.
the one that they will learn here will help them to get the certification,
Certified,
guys.
yeah.
Yes. Because coach, like how many of my students, they are already certified. So they are
Mm.
messaging me, coach, I'm certified. I'm so happy. So this will really learn. This will really from here they will learn a lot,
Mm.
as long as they will know, coach, how to really, don't try, because this is a trial version, don't be
Mm.
afraid to commit mistakes, because this is part of it.
Mm.
Only definitely when we have our own client, we are not allowed to have our own
Okay.
mistakes from there. But
Uh,
commit the mistakes from here, this is really fine. So
this is an avenue where you can learn. Yeah.
yes,
Trial and
correct,
error.
coach. Yes, and I think that's the only way for them to learn as well. When
Mm.
they do it on their own, that's the reason why we're having the online bookkeeping course for them to learn it and for them to be able to tell themselves that they are really ready for online bookkeeping job, coach.
Yeah, so there you go. In the online bookkeeping course, we issue a certificate from FVA that you did the online bookkeeping training. All right, so we get you certified when it comes to online bookkeeping. Training or virtual assistants. But when it comes to QuickBooks, and the other tools or applications or sites are the one issuing that certificate. So if you want to be a QuickBooks Pro advisor, you have to get that certification. But just like what Coach Seth mentioned here, you can be ready or prepared, and the training in the online bookkeeping course will empower you and help you to become, a QuickBooks Pro advisor, certified QuickBooks Pro advisor. Last question, Coach. So we can also, relate to them. They're also asking if the U.S. tax or more on taxation is also included in this course.
We actually discuss here, coach, input and output tax here, a VAT in our country. For US tax, coach, actually it is most likely the same. It's just that UK standard is quite different, but US, coach, is the same as ours, only
Mm.
like allowable deduction. So they will need to really understand that.
Get that
But
from the client as well, the information.
yes, coach. But for online bookkeeping, the one that we have here, what I discussed is more on the VAT, the value added tax that we have,
Mm-hmm.
how they will able to calculate it. So also there are companies that are not taxable, coach. So
Yeah.
like that part I'm discussing it on my
Mhm.
CS side,
Mhm.
coach.
Mhm. So there you go. I hope that those are very helpful and you have the idea on how you can get started with the Filipino Virtual Assistants online bookkeeping course or in other courses as well or online industries and be certified as an online bookkeeper and get started with your freelancing niche as an online bookkeeper. So thank you for this time, Coach. It has been, an honor and very helpful to give guidance and a perspective on those who are interested in becoming an online bookkeeper.
Thank you so much, coach. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone. God bless you all.